Ladies and gentlemen, little embarrassing, but the debate number 2 happens to be about myself and 13 other journalists. Why am I debating myself? Because my job is to debate about issues concerning the people. Today, ladies and gentlemen, it's just that I happen to be part of something that this country will need to think about. Today, ladies and gentlemen, 14 anchors across television channels were banned by the I.N.D.I.A alliance, the Mohabbat Ki Dukaan, newly opened in town. I was one amongst them. Frankly, I don't know what to make of this. What is my fault? That I ask questions? That I speak for people who can't speak for themselves, or that I do not pull punches and have cozy drawing room conversations masquerading as hard-hitting interviews? It all started with some people being continuously abused and marked out as Godi media. We've lived with this for many, many years. Why? Because we say what we think, what we see around us, and what we think we need to report. And now we have descended into a boycott. In the year 2023, in the 21st century, now will journalists be issued certificates by political parties and groupings, and only those pre-certified journalists that you will be allowed to ask questions? Only those certified journalists will ask questions? Of course, people like me have now been boycotted. That certainly seems to be the idea of inclusivity that is being propounded by this new 28-party India alliance that is fighting to save the constitution, no less. The NBDSA has condemned the move, saying they are anguished by a decision that goes against the ethos of democracy. The Broadcasters and Digital Association also say that the move from the alliance seems to be, which is claiming to champion the cause of pluralism and free press, betrays a callous disregard for democracy's most fundamental tenet, the inalienable right to openly express ideas and opinions. So now, am I not free to express opinions because I've been boycotted by the India alliance? Similarly, the National Broadcasters Federation has condemned the move as an undemocratic emergency era directive that crushes free speech and targets Indian media in a pre-election year. They have also called it an unprecedented attempt to muzzle the voice of the Indian media through intimidation and singling out tactics. And I just want to tell you, these 14 journalists who have been picked up are actually from across the spectrum of television journalists. So it's not one channel, not two channels, across. Are you threatening all television channels? And what does it say? The statement says that we will continue to monitor you. Monitor us? Is the India Alliance going to monitor us? Well, listen in to what they have to say.
देखिए, जो इंडी अलायंस ने पत्रकारों के खिलाफ जो किया है वो इमरजेंसी 2.0 है। एक इमरजेंसी इंदिरा गांधी जी ने दी थी, दूसरा एक गठबंधन गठबंधन यानी कि इंडी अलायंस के नेताओं ने दिया है। ये अपने आप में दिखाता है इनका लोकतंत्र में विश्वास नहीं। आप बंगाल देख लीजिए, तमिलनाडु देख लीजिए, एक के बाद दूसरा विपक्ष का ऐसा राज्य जहां पत्रकारों के खिलाफ मुकदमे दर्ज किए जाते हैं, अब उनका बहिष्कार करने की बात करते हैं। ये अपने आप में दबाव बनाकर मीडिया के ऊपर जो पाना चाहते हैं, इससे बड़ी शर्मनाक बात कोई और नहीं।
साथियों, रोज शाम को 5 बजे कुछ चैनल्स पर नफरत का एक बाजार सजाया जाता है। पिछले 9 साल से लगातार चल रहा है। उस बाजार में अलग अलग पार्टीज के प्रवक्ता जाते हैं, लेकिन हम सब नफरत के उस बाजार में ग्राहक बनकर जाते हैं। हमें नफरत मुक्त भारत की दिशा में एक कदम उठाना था। आज एक निर्णय लिया गया, कुछ एंकर्स को चिन्हित किया जाए और उनके इस तरह के शोज में, इवेंट्स में हम लोग न जाएं. We do not want to legitimize this hate-filled narrative which is corroding our society. That was the idea. ये इस उम्मीद के साथ, बड़े भारी मन के साथ आज ये लिस्ट हम लोगों ने जारी की है.
Mind you, this move is from political parties who have lamented at length about dictatorship and the lack of press freedom in India. They have cried copious tears, highlighting how India's ranking has been sliding down 8 positions on the World Press Freedom Index. They were anguished at the prospect of the fourth pillar of democracy being supposedly shackled. And yet, here they are saying, we don't like what you're saying, so we will not talk to you at all. Kutti. In NewsHour Fact Check today, we will remind the India Alliance of how they had tagged the Modi Sarkar as Tanashah and fought for press freedom. In May, the Congress tweeted that World Press Freedom Day honors might of pen over the sword. Press seeing its erosion in India under BJP regime. Congress stands with journalists. They didn't say journalists except those 14, which we will. In May, we were all journalists in these troubled times. In May, Trinamool Congress also tweeted, Mr. Narendra Modi, we aren't surprised. Hasn't the fourth pillar always been in your line of fire? Well, today we are in the line of fire of the opposition alliance. Then, even the CPIM tweeted, what does Modi's New India offer journalists? Physical attacks and trolling. Well, I'm being trolled today. I'm trending with a wrong spelling and pronouncement. I'm actually Navika, not Navika. So anybody who wants to troll me, please use my correct pronunciation, correct spelling. I'm happy to be trolled by you, but use the correct pronunciation, even if it's a proper noun. Probes by government agencies, all this gyan coming from them. What happens then to the lofty ideas of this freedom of speech? That, ladies and gentlemen, is today's legitimate question. What about freedom of speech? What about strengthening the fourth pillar of democracy? Or is the fight for democracy just a sham? That's the legitimate question on the NewsHour tonight.
You're watching the News Hour at 9, debate number 2 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
Joining the debate tonight, GVL Narasimha Rao, Member of Parliament and National Spokesperson of the BJP, Subrashta Ji, founder of the Churn, Ashutosh, political analyst, senior journalist, old colleague, has been to political parties, back to our own field of journalism, and also joining today the boycotted anchor is the suspended Congress leader, Sanjay Jha. Sanjay Jha, you and I almost in the same boat. You're a suspended Congress leader. I'm a boycotted television anchor by the Congress party. Something in common that we have, maybe have a cup of coffee together to celebrate the new freedom of press. Sanjay Jha, इतना डेमोक्रेसी बचाना है, कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन खतरे में है, and then you come up with what? Your first major decision in the coordination committee meeting is how to ban 14 journalists. Very good. Protecting the media. Thank you. Press freedom. 3 cheers. Sanjay Jha.
Yeah, Navika, you're aware that I defend the India Alliance very passionately. I hope the India Alliance wins the 2024 elections. But I want to make two of my personal views on this very upfront. Number one, in 2019, I remember when I was very much part of the Congress mainstream communication strategy team, when the party decided after losing the 2019 elections that we'll boycott all TV channels for a month, I was the lone voice within who said that was wrong. Because in a democracy, no matter good, bad, even if people feel that there is a prejudice, there is some kind of a slant, you need to engage. And I think platforms like media are the best way to actually reach out to a larger audience. How many rallies can you hold? How much can your Twitter really be amplified? Television, along with print, is one of the best methods to reaching out to your audience. So my short answer to your question is, I do not agree with this. I believe that even if the India Alliance, and I support them, I've got to fight for them relentlessly on your program. I want to say this to them through your medium, that no matter how much you feel that some anchors are hostile, some channels may be, having perhaps a more visible favor for maybe X party or otherwise. But to not engage, to boycott, I think is in a great number of ways a harakiri of sorts, because you have a platform and people listen to you. It's not just the panelists, right? It's the audience that listens to you. And you need to use every available platform to get your message out. And I have always believed, Navika, that, end of day, even a hostile anchor will engage with you or get to know you better.
Am I a hostile anchor? Sanjay Jha, am I a hostile anchor? Do I not allow you to speak? Because I need a certificate now. Come on. The India Alliance has given me a certificate, the certificate that I hold in my hand. I'm number 9 on the list of 14 journalists boycotted. Ab to certificate ke bina chalega nahi, boss. 32 years of journalism I've done, but I still need the certificate from the India Alliance. How's that?
Navika, I want to make this very, very clear. I'm being very unambiguous on your program. I always call a spade a spade. I think mentioning individual anchors is, I think, brazenly unfair, because, end of day, anchors too have their own way of looking at things, and we need to appreciate that. We can disagree with it. I mean, I know there has been a lot of conversation on big media being not giving the opposition enough space, maybe even legitimate. I'm even going to the extent where you believe, rightfully or wrongfully. I'll give you one example of I.N.D.I.A. I.N.D.I.A and I used to have.
Let's not talk about other anchors who are not here to defend themselves.
Yeah, fair enough.
I'm sorry. We will not discuss other anchors because, frankly, they're not here to defend themselves. So please don't say anything about them.
I'm saying something different. I would even engage with an I.N.D.I.A here, because a lot of people believe that his channel is very hostile. I would even engage with him. I would have no problem if.
That's why. Well, then that's why, Dr. Sanjay Jha, I'm not surprised you're suspended. I'm boycotted because this is not really working for both of us. GVL Narasimha Rao, am I certified by you?
Navika, I think first of all, congratulations to you for making it to the top of the charts.
No, I'm not on the top. I'm somewhere in the middle.
Okay, but I think maybe they have listed it in alphabetical order or some other order.
Okay, yeah.
But whatever.
Yeah, maybe I would have been at the top, but just because my name begins with N, I'm somewhere in the middle.
So I think it reeks of frustration. I think in an election year, for the media, for a political party and an alliance that calls itself fraudulently as India, it is indulging in a deliberately, it's indulging in an anti-India act. It's political intolerance at its worst. It is exhibiting their frustration. They're unable to get their act together. And the best thing is to blame the media and follow your frustration on the media. And the members of this alliance are those who have shamelessly supported Bharat Todo Andolans. They are the people who have supported breakup India groups. And today, they are actually finding problem with anchors who the people of India see. I'm not giving a certificate. I'm saying people of India see them as nationalist anchors, supporting the armed forces on every occasion and speaking against the anti-India elements and also inimical countries. I think it seems that they have another preferred list of a jihadi media, where they would like rather their anti-India agenda to be promoted over the next few months. But this is a clear sign of their defeat. I think if you cannot even engage with the media, and if you're so intolerant towards a point of view in the media, it tells you that you're using your frustration, your inability to move the people, electorate, on your fraudulent agenda. You're only taking out your anger on anchors. I think this is nothing but a shameful act. The anti-India alliance will rue their decision post-election. I think when they analyze their trend, when they analyze their results, I'm sure they will identify this as one more reason for their massive defeat in 2024.
Well, I don't know whether there will be defeat or there will be victory, but I only know, Ashutosh ji, and on my CV, I have a few stories to my credit. I have been critical of the BJP government, in the Vajpayee era. I've done stories in then, and you would know me from my 10 years in the print medium in the Indian Express, and then for 18 years I've been here in Times Now, and I've done many stories. That's what we journalists are supposed to do. I've done stories against the UPA Sarkar, the coal scam, the 2G scam, the CWG scam. I've even done stories about actually the Sheesh Mahal. Now, is it in public interest that I should not break stories like Sheesh Mahal, where 50 crores, and you've been on those debates with me, Ashutosh ji, 50 crores spent on a chief minister's residence, which was actually called just some repair and refurbishment, and then we've all seen how a completely new bungalow was built. Should I not have done that? Is this the message that is coming to me and my channel? And Ashutosh ji, I just want to ask you, is this the new India we are talking about? Is this the defending of the constitution and press freedom that the opposition alliance actually came out for?
Navika, first of all, as a journalist, I don't bother even a political party or a leader is boycotting me or banning me. I don't give a damn, because I had been a victim of the system. It's not that one political party. Mulayam Singh Yadav sent a police to arrest me, lodged an FIR. Mayawati arrested my reporter, who is now a BJP MLA from UP. And George Fernandez refused to be interviewed by me because I caught him lying red-handed on TV channel. And it was reported by the several newspapers 20 years back. And the BJP right now, I think Mr. GVL Narasimha Rao should look within. That many people, many spokespersons who made their debut on my TV channels and my debates, off the record, they tell me, I can't come to your channel, I can't speak to you because I'm being watched. So I'm not bothered about it. The issue is slightly different. The issue is, should the anchors be allowed to hate speech? That's a bigger issue. Whether you support government, whether you don't support government, what is your editorial policy is none of my business and none of anybody's business. But Supreme Court in two of the observations, one in 21st September 2022 and 14th January 2023, very categorically has said that the anchors, a few anchors, I'm not talking about you, but a few anchors, they indulge into hate speech. And I want to
brandish all anchors. So brandish all anchors.
No, let me come. I'm being very candid with you. I don't purposely go on the different, on many channels. And I have told them I will not appear with this anchor. Because I feel they are not indulging into journalism, they are indulging into some kind of hate speech. So I might have a vast difference with you. But I regularly appear on your shows and on Times Now. The issue is anchor entering into hate speech? And Supreme Court categorically has said...
So who is to decide that? Subrashta ji, who is to decide who's entering into hate speech or not? Are there IPC, sections that should be applied to such people, or will political parties come out and actually begin to put out lists of who they want to boycott? And is this really the democracy that they are propounding?
Is the question to me, Navika ji?
Yes, Subrashta ji.
Navika ji, I think this whole issue is quite preposterous, to say the least. I was just reading up the communique that has come from the India Alliance. Firstly, to assume that there is a polarizing narrative and that the polarizing narrative is being spread by the listed anchors and not the India Alliance or anybody who's sort of legitimizing this kind of communique is all in thin air. I mean, tomorrow they may just come and say that this program that you're hosting today has polarized the entire intellectual community in the country against the India Alliance. So what do you say to that? The whole idea of democracy is to polarize. Now, the point is whether you are communalizing the narrative or not. Now, who is to decide what is communal or what is not? Nupur Sharma's fiasco has happened. We all know what has happened there. So what was communal? The conversation that led Nupur Sharma to speak what she spoke? Or the conversation that Nupur Sharma had with the audience? Who is to decide? If everything were to be decided by the Supreme Court of this country, then let's not talk about democracy and freedom of speech. It's a farcical communication to have.
Absolutely. And I'm on record, and I'm going on record tonight to say that not once, not twice, on several occasions. And these are people I've known now for 25, 30 years. The head of the media cell, Jairam Ramesh, Pawan Khera of the Congress party, all of these people, I've known them since the day I started my journalism, and I meet all of them, and I have given them open invitations and said, come, use the platform, put your point of view, because that's what a channel is. And instead, what do? They put out a list of boycotted hate speech journalists. They haven't said hate speech, but that's what they're talking about. But the fact of the matter is, are we not democratic when we offer them space which they don't want to take? Then my question is, are you scared of my questions? That is why you don't want to be on this channel, and you want to take the moral high ground that we boycott these journalists? Well, same to you, boycott you back. And it's been going on for 9 years. Let's live happily ever after. Democracy will thrive. With your diktat, with your boycott, or without it. Thank you, but no thanks. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you to my panelists for joining me on this debate. And ladies and gentlemen, this was an important issue. I took it up second with lesser time only because I felt the debate on the loss of our Jawans and some political parties actually recommending talks with Pakistan, which I took first. Simply because we are not journalists for us. I'm not the story. I'm only the communicator. The story is between the government and the opposition. Wherever they stand, I continue to be free to say whatever I wish to say. Nobody can take away that freedom from me. Boycott or no boycott. Thank you. Good night.